Welcome to Lesson 15 on appositives. Today we're going to learn about appositives. Now, a noun or pronoun that comes right after another noun or pronoun and it repeats or identifies, that's called an appositive. One thing about appositives is they're not necessary to the sentence. So if we look at our examples, our third president was Thomas Jefferson. Oh, by the way, he was also a multi-talented man. So if we have something in the sentence that's not necessary and gives us more information about the noun or pronoun right before it, then we call that an appositive. Her brother, oh, by the way, his name is Adrian, is sitting in front of the canoe. For many years, the Packers have had the same quarterback. Oh, by the way, that's Brett Favre. So we see that Brett Favre renames or identifies, repeats or identifies quarterback. Adrian repeats or identifies brother. Multi-talented man is Thomas Jefferson. But none of them are necessary to the sentence. Now, when we diagram appositives, we put them in parentheses right after the noun with which they rename or identify. Okay, so if we look at that, obviously then appositives can be in the subject spot. Anywhere a noun or pronoun could be is where an appositive could be. Subject, could be a direct object. Okay, it could be the predicate nominative, object of the preposition, indirect object, or adverbial objective. Okay, which we won't see too many of those, so I'm not going to write that down. But so if we look at here, so we have in the sentence from our president, our third president was Thomas Jefferson, a multi-talented man. So we see that the subject of the sentence is president. Our verb was, which is a linking verb, so we have to have a subject complement. In this case, we have a predicate nominative that renames president. President was Thomas Jefferson. And then are and third are describing president. Now, we know that our positive is a multi-talented man. So whichever one would come first in the sentence gets diagrammed. The second reference, the appositive, goes in parentheses, and only the noun or pronoun. We then put the descriptive words, the modifiers, directly underneath the word that it's describing. So we wouldn't put all multi-talented under Thomas Jefferson. All multi-talented go underneath man. Okay? Sometimes it's just as simple as her brother Adrian is sitting in front of the canoe. So the brother, oh, by the way, his name is Adrian. And we put that in parentheses afterwards. Now, if Adrian came before brother, then Adrian would get diagrammed and brother would be the appositive. It's whatever the second reference is. So let's look at our example here. Mr. Jones, an animal trainer, will speak to our class tomorrow. Now, sometimes appositives are set off by commas, which makes them easier to identify, but they don't always have to be set off by commas. So in this case, we look and we want to find, see if we have any prepositional phrases, and we do. To our class is our prepositional phrase. Now we want to identify our subject. Now remember, if you can't find the subject, look for the verb because you know that there's going to be limited verbs in the sentence. So I can see that will speak is my verb, and I ask myself who or what will speak? Mr. Jones. So I know that's the subject. Oh, and by the way, he's an animal trainer. So I know that this is going to be my appositive. All right, so let's start diagramming the sentence. Now I have Mr. Jones is my subject, and I know the verb is will speak, and that is action, so I need to see if I have a direct object. Will speak who or what? We don't really have an answer to that, so we don't have a direct object, and as we know with an action verb, we do not need a direct object. It's not necessary to the sentence. All right, so Mr. Jones, I've used Mr. Jones, I've used will and speak. Now, an animal trainer, we know that the single word, the noun or pronoun is trainer, and an animal modifier describe trainer. So I have to fit that underneath here. An animal. I'll squish there. Now, where will he speak? Now we start looking at our adverb questions. Where, when, how, why, to what extent. So where will he speak? To our class. So I know that that's the prepositional phrase. We put the preposition on the line. And the object of the preposition is the last word, goes on the straight line. To class, and what type of class? It's our class. And when is he going to speak? Well, he's going to speak tomorrow. So I've got another adverb here. And that is how you diagram appositives.